You've probably been wondering this isn't the Return to series, and no, it isn't! It's worse. It's a challenge run that I created that took me over 30 hours spanning 4 whole days to do. You probably are thinking, well that's not that bad, but trust me, it was painful. So what is this super difficult challenge I'm talking about? Well, I'm calling it the Starkly Gauntlet, trademark pending, and it's basically if round 50, gun game and a pack-a-punch every weapon challenge had a baby with the devil himself. Because I decided they were all way too easy, so let's combine them. So let's get to the rules of the challenge. Rule 1, reach round 50. Simple, right? Rule 2, every round you use a different gun. Pack-a-punch counts as a different gun to get to the 50 gun mark, and if you have DLC, you get to skip 2 pack-a-punch guns. If you don't have the DLC, you have to do them all. Once the gun has been used, you cannot use it ever again, so keep track. Rule 3, you are not allowed to use grenades, Semtex included, monkeys, knifing, ballistic knife to gain points nor kills, they are not guns. The EMP grenades, those are allowed. Rule 4, if you haven't done a non-pack-a-punch weapon it shows up in the box, you must pick it up and are not allowed to leave it. You are allowed to leave it in your secondary weapon slot until you want to use it though. This rule does not apply to the pack-a-punch guns. If you get a gun you haven't packed yet, you do not need to grab it from the box. Rule 5, the gun you use for that round you must use for the whole duration, with one exception. You get 3 lives where you're allowed to accidentally kill the final zombie of the round, if you make sure the next round you use that weapon. Rule 6, on round 50 you only have to pack-a-punch the last gun, you do not need to use it to finish the round. It's a round 50 challenge, not a round 51 challenge. Now with the rules said, let's quickly get into the main ways I've lost to this challenge. Like, dying stupidly, not having enough money, getting a bad gun too late into the run, and getting the knife or monkey from the first box here. And if you think they are stupid ways to die and it couldn't be that hard, well let's quickly take a look at a 7-hour game that I did where I got to round 42 with 70,000 points. And all I needed to do is weapon swap and pack the chick up. And you would have thought that with 70,000, the probability of getting that one good would be a walk in the park, right? Right? Well no, not once did I get it, and I spent over 2 hours hitting the box losing 70,000 points in the process. Not being able to get the chicken, ending the run at 7 hours. Now with a quick glimpse of how crushing this massive luck/skill based challenge can be, let's get into the game where I did it, because that's what all of you have been waiting to see. But before that, 2 guns I've chosen not to pack a punch are the S12 and the M1216, just for how difficult they are with the low ammo and low damage. So with that, let's get right into it, starting with round 1. Where for this round, I obviously used the pistol, and normally I would prefer to knife the zombies like I did in the Pro vs New series, but I can't, because if you remember rule 3, I can't knife, and me being British, that's a crime in itself. So to maximise points, I shoot as much as I can into them, and then aim for the headshot, where after I clear all the zombies, I rebuild the barrier so I can get those few extra points. 100% C tier, can only use it on round 1 realistically. Where I then on round 2 go to the box, hoping it doesn't give me the ballistic knife, and I guess this time the box was being nice with me, giving me the foul. And not bad, not good weapon to get this early on. And talking about early on, let's quickly talk about my strat going into this challenge. With 50 weapons I need to use each round, the strat is to try and get the bad guns as early as possible. And if I can't, I reset. Some bad guns are like the S12, the M1216, the War Machine and a few more. And this is part of the challenge which is so hard, because you can get the War Machine on like round 20, making it impossible. Anyway, continuing on, as you saw, the foul demolishes round 2, so definitely a B tier weapon, where we then go into round 3, where we get a bit unlucky getting the DSR-50, which is one of my favourite, if not my favourite BO2 normal gun. It does have low ammo, but its damage makes up for it, so getting it on round 3 isn't ideal, but we just have to get lucky with the next box hits. I give it a DSR-50 S tier because I absolutely love the gun. Moving on to round 4, where we get super lucky with the War Machine. Now, it's great to get this super early in the rounds, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. It can actually get through a full round, even on round 15, shown in this clip here, where I didn't even get any maxes, insta-kills, or nukes. So even though I'm happy I got it earlier than later, I'm going to give it the most surprising B tier. Unlike round 5 where I get the Cap 40, and this is where I get really excited, because the Cap 40 is one of the worst guns I've ever tried to use in this challenge. Low ammo, low damage, and it's extremely difficult to use this weapon in the early mid rounds. So getting it on round 5 was great, 100% F tier. Now on round 6 you can see me getting into a bit of trouble where the ballistic knife appears in the box. And then when we spin again it gives us the Cap 40 again. And because we already used it, we aren't allowed to use it again unless we pack it. And sadly our next hit is when the dreaded teddy bear forces us to go to another location, wasting even more of our points. But the next box, we get even more lucky, getting the S12, which is, for me, the worst gun in the whole of this challenge. Everyone hates the SMR, but the S12 is the real bad gun in my opinion. And with this gun out of the way, this was the point I locked in, thinking this might be the run. So for the S12, it won't be getting an F. It's getting the I wish it never existed tier. And with that, round 7, where our luck runs out, getting the RPD, a great weapon but not for such an early round. But not to worry, I make use of it, gaining loads of points and also gaining quick revive on this round, which I only do when I think I'm in a good run, where I then end the round super fast, giving the RPD a high A tier in my opinion. Great killing, great points, and with loads of ammo. And continuing on with our LMGs, we get the hammer on the next round. Again, way too early for this gun, but we aren't complaining. And the same with the RPD, we get through the round at blazing speeds, and again, another A tier. But not to worry, because our luck gets back on track, getting the Barrett from the box. And before nearly going down, I haul up the zombies because of the limited ammo the Barrett has, and I try to get as many collateral headshots as I can. Getting a lucky nuke ending the round, where I give the Barrett a C tier. It's just the worst sniper in every aspect. For round 10, I do something a bit weird. Even though I have 10,000 points, I decide to go for the Olympia instead of hitting the box. The only reason for doing this is because I don't want to leave the Olympia too late in the game. Even though it has infinite ammo, it's just a pain to use at high rounds, because it doesn't kill and it isn't a point gaining weapon like the M14 and the MP5. But because it technically has infinite ammo for this challenge, I'll put it at A tier at least. Sorry Olympia gang, it is what it is. Now the next 3 rounds is where this run actually started to get my hopes up, and I genuinely thought, holy, I might just be able to do this. But why? And that is because not only during these 3 rounds did I get Jug and Double Tap helping out, but because on round 11 I got the 5.7, which is a decent gun, C tier, which got me through the round easily, and then round 12 and 13 getting 2 more terrible weapons. The M1216 on round 12, it being another shotgun with terrible damage and ammo count, putting it in F tier, and finally on round 13 getting the Chickum, what I would have put in D tier if it wasn't for its incredible movement speed stat, bumping it up to C tier at least. Finally on round 14 we get to see our first 2 pack-a-punch guns, where we pack-a-punch the Chickum and save that for later, and then the starting pistol getting the Mustang and Sally. The reason being we don't want to leave it too late, because if we run out of ammo, the run would be over. Giving it a B tier for its lovely damage, but scared of running out of ammo. Then once again the gods bestowed upon me more luck, giving me the SMR, which I used to go through round 15 like a champ. And I want to be honest, I also hate the SMR, but because of the amount of ammo it has, I'm going to give it a D tier. But if it wasn't for this challenge, I would always put it in F tier. And at the end, I decided to pack it and save it for later as well. Now remember I saved the Chickum for later? Well, it wasn't for too much later, because on round 16 I use it, because I have a little bit of a bad experience with the packed Chickum. Failed round 42 attempt, and once I finished the round I felt way too good. And here is where we have a slight problem for round 17 and 18. My recording actually got corrupted and I don't have those 2 rounds, but not to worry, we can go and check out theatre mode from BO2 to check on those rounds, so let's go and do that. Well, I guess not. So yeah, no footage from round 17 or 18, but my guns that were used were the following. The Type 25, which I give a B tier, and the RPG, which I give a C tier. And with that little hiccup out of the way, we are now going to move on to round 19, where we can see that I get the War Machine and pack it. And I was so surprised at how good it was, and I wish I saved it for a little bit later, like round 25 or even later. So this is going to be crazy, but I'm going to give it a B tier. Yeah, I know you can burn me in the comments. I did the challenge, not you. Anyway, sorry about that. This challenge kind of broke me a little bit, so moving on to round 20, 21, and 22, where the guns I get, except for round 22, are nothing special. Getting the M8A1 on round 20, and I give it a solid B tier. The MTAR on round 21, and again, another B tier. And finally on round 22 I get the Executioner, where I love this gun and it does amazing high ammo and damage for a shotgun pistol, giving it a solid S tier. And I guess I got lucky again where I get the Cap 40, so I quickly decided to pack-a-punch it, removing another one of the bad guns from the list completely. And I was just about able to complete the round without losing ammo. I don't want to be weapon swapping on these early rounds, and even less with such low points. And I give the packed Cap 40 an F tier, for just how bad it kills and low ammo on round 23. Round 24 starts off with another packed gun, this one being the Type 25, and I honestly like this gun, but sadly it isn't the best, and even with all of its ammo, I just about got through the round. And because of that, I'm going to have to give it a D tier, for being a packed weapon that barely has enough power and ammo to go through round 24. And finally we reach round 25, the halfway point for rounds, but definitely not the halfway point in terms of time. For context, it took me 1 hour to get to this point, and the remaining 25 rounds took me the remaining 7.5 hours to get through. And honestly, this is a round where I probably made my biggest mistake, where I get the Raygun Mark II, and the reason it's my biggest mistake was the following line of thoughts I had. Where because the Raygun Mark II only has like a 2% of showing up in the box, I was super scared of using it at the later rounds for the points, not remembering how well this gun actually kills, so I used it on round 25 when I should have waited a bit longer, making the whole process faster. And instead of getting rid of it, I decided to keep it just out of fear of not getting it again, and should have left it for the really late rounds where I would have had enough points to get it multiple times, which we will see in the future, giving it an S tier, but sadly using it on round 25. Now with us completing round 25, let's take a short little break from all the action and have a little chat. So I just want to say that this video and all the other videos are only possible thanks to all of you guys' support I've been receiving. And I'm super happy to be able to make content for you guys to enjoy. Like and comment. There's nothing I like more than to chat with you guys in the comment section right after a video comes out and hear all of your opinions. So to everyone who is watching, thank you guys for everything, and I hope you stick around to see what other crazy ideas I come up with. And to everyone who isn't already part of this journey, subscribe! I'll make sure you won't regret it. Now that we've had a quick break from all the action, let's get back to the game where on round 26 I finally get around to using the packed SMR. And if again, because of its massive ammo stock, I get through this round without trouble, and I'm going to have to give the packed SMR a high D tier. And now on round 27 is where we get to our first point building round, where I decided to use the M14 to try and gain as much points as possible, just because I was still missing some non-packed guns and I would need the points in case I need to weapon swap a lot. And this took a considerable amount of time in terms of just killing. It's probably up there with one of the longest rounds I've done without weapon swapping, taking 20 minutes to get through this round. But at the end getting a whopping 23,000 points, which is great, giving the M14 an S tier, just because of the damage it does and its headshot multiplier, great point weapon, fast shooting, and obviously the infinite ammo. Now let's go speedrunner mode through a few of these rounds. 28 I get the Galil, A tier. 29 I pack the 5.7, C tier. Round 30 with the Python, honestly I give it a B tier. Round 31 with the dual 5.7s, B tier, where I then on round 32 pack it and also give them a B tier. An explosive round 33 with RPG packed, 100% A tier, I loved it. Where on round 34 I finally used the packed Raygun Mark II when I should have saved it for later, but anyway I'm going to give it a S tier. And finally in round 35 I packed the M8A1, giving it for a packed weapon a low B tier. And with that the speed run through some of the rounds, we finally get to our second point building round. Round 36, where I go and grab my third and final non-packed war weapon, the MP5, where I nearly double my points, going from 100,000 to nearly 200,000. 100% S tier for this run. And with this, I knew that the run was pretty much good to win this. Now the only thing in between me and the finish is my mental state, my skills, and time itself. But I was determined. At this point in time, it was probably around 10 at night, and I still had 5.5 hours to go. So I cracked open a Red Bull and I continued. Now on round 37, this is where I made my first mistake of the run. This round I was using the packed Barrett, and with its low ammo I had to weapon swap until getting it again. Sadly, with how long it takes to do this sometimes, I thought it would be a great idea to speed up the process by training the horde around the box while I spin for the Barrett. Sadly, some zombies didn't like my training route and decided to branch off, getting me from the front and from the behind. Not a situation I recommend anyone to be in. Anyway, after going down, I got lucky the zombies left me, so I quickly grabbed Quick Revive and then go get my perks back. Getting the Barrett again and finished off the round. So sorry guys if you thought I was going to do this flawless, but anyway, the packed Barrett is getting D tier. It's just not that great. For round 38, I'll let myself tell you what time it is. Raygun time, baby. Yep, like I said, Raygun for this round. And honestly, it didn't go too bad nor too good on rounds 38, but I'll give it an A tier for the splash damage. Then on round 39 I packed it, and this was the most disappointing round ever, because I thought I was going to fly through it. But not only did I go down, causing me to lose my second Quick Revive and leaving me with only one more, but also compared to the normal Raygun, the difference wasn't drastic, even though it was only a round higher. So for that reason I'm giving it a B tier. And now we are entering the final stretch, and even though there's only 10 rounds left, this is what took me most of my time, a whopping 5 hours to go before finishing. But because of this challenge, I'm nowhere near finishing. I'm not even at the halfway mark yet. But we must push through, because for this attempt in particular, I didn't take any breaks. And I was so locked in, I forgot to even eat, thinking this would be the attempt I will win. What I wasn't ready for was for the remaining 5 hours. The frustration and honestly, the worst part was how tired you get doing a run like this without any breaks. but you guys are all watching because I beat it. So let's get into how I finished this challenge. So for round 40, I packed the file and get by without a problem with high B tier. On round 41, I packed the MTAR, also getting through the round without a single problem, another high B tier. And even round 42 where I packed the Galil, a fan favourite, and to be different, I'm going to be putting in F tier. I'm only kidding, it's high A tier, but this is the round where some of my good luck starts to run out. Because sadly, starting round 43 after getting the DSR-50 packed and ready, I take a super reckless down for the exact same reason I did before. And this is where I started to panic a little, because with no quick revives left and 7 super long rounds to go, and it also being around 12 at night, I was right to be panicked. But I decided to lock in and just focus on the game, and do the best I could. And that's when I finished the round giving the DSR-50 packed an S tier. And now we get to the part of the challenge that actually broke me. Round 44, 45, 46 and 47. These 4 rounds where I got the hammer, executioner, RPD and Python took alone 2 hours and a half to actually complete. They were not difficult, but the amount of box hit I had to do, mainly with the RPD and the Python, was so tiresome I actually started to get a sharp pain in both of my hands for how much I did the exact same process. So let's get through them really quickly. On round 44, the hammer. Luckily I only had to do 17 box hits. A tier. Round 45, the executioner. Again, only had to do 82 box hits. Just a few more, am I right? S tier. Round 46, the RPD. The one gun that took way too much time. With over 100 box hits, it was generally making me go crazy. A tier. And finally, round 47, the Python, where I get lucky on the first box trade, but that's it. Having to do less hits, but still too many to call it having a good time. And here we are, the final 3 rounds, and these rounds, they might take a while to do, but they are the easiest out of all of them. Mostly because I can buy ammo off the wall, plus round 50 I just need a pack-a-puncher gun. So for round 48 I used the MP5 pack, and it took some time and I did gain loads of points even though I didn't need them anymore. I'm a simple man, big number made me happy. So anyway, I finished the round and I give the packed MP5 S tier. That's when we start round 49, and all of you who's been watching so far thought I'd complete the challenge, but I'm sorry, I'll let this clip speak for itself. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I choked at the end, ending this attempt on round 49, and with that... Nah, I'm just kidding. That was a fake death, I just did it for the drama. My real 49 went spectacular, except for some hand pain, kicking so much seeing that I left the M14 for the last round I had to complete, because I trusted to the M14 because M14 gang, we the best. And finally I did it, reaching round 5 after 8.5 hours of playing at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the M14, I'm going to give it the S tier. And now all I'm missing is to go and pack-a-punch my final gun, the Olympia. And you're probably thinking, why did you leave it for last? Well, loyal viewer, I'll tell you, it's because I don't have to use it. Remember rule 6? Yeah, I just need to pack-a-punch it. This is a round 50 challenge, not a round 51 challenge. So that's what I did. I go and pack-a-punch the Olympia, and before even being able to shoot one shot, I go and die the best way I can by dolphin diving out of the bar straight onto lava, finally ending this attempt and this challenge with it. And here's me after I finish this. Let's go! And with that, the video has come to its end. So if you guys enjoyed the video and liked the Starkly Gauntlet, trademark pending, I hope you absolutely smash that like button, leave a comment complimenting me obviously, and of course don't forget to subscribe. I love you all and I won't be touching town again for a long time. I mean, unless you want me to. Bye!